that logo. Wow. That 10th anniversary that Anthony Veltri, A1, on the one camera. Didn't that look great? We're winding down, folks. Great logo. Hey, thanks for watching our Pittsburgh Sportsline show live in the BP TV studios in the Municipal Building in Bethel Park. We're in the lower level. The police are across from us. Upstairs is the great library, the great mayor's office, and administration offices. So we're here. Been doing this show for almost 11 years in this new place. I think they told me we've been here, is it 5 years?
4.
4 years.
2018 was the first year.
I stand corrected. I went to my go-to guy, VIP Nick, who got that great shirt from Zhang Taekwondo.
Yes, great shirt.
Definitely.
Not this one, but the one they got me. Yeah.
That's a nice color for you.
Thanks.
Yeah. I'm Al Levine, the talking machine. I got to look at the right camera. A2's on that. And we got Smoking Jim Frazier. I'm glad it's still showing me. I'm glad we got Chip Hayner. And I can't see the guy next to me because I'm looking at the camera. Oh, I got peripheral vision. Smoking Jim lost that. There's Nick Callis. And we're here to do a show on Comcast 7, only in Bethel Park. Verizon 32 in Bethel Park, and all the way from Nemacolin, Cranberry, Wexford, and all points in between, the greater Pittsburgh area if you need to know. So first time watching, thank you for watching us on Verizon 32. We appreciate it. And I want to give a new Facebook page, 6,950 likes.
Let's go.
We only got 50 to go. I've been begging for it for 6 months, and we only went up about 13. So we're holding steady. I'm looking for 7K before the end of 2022. But I got a special announcement. I don't know if A2 can pull in on this, do a close-up. I got a long story. Smoking Jim, we know his birthday is July 17th. Officially, we don't know how old he is.
It's his 29th birthday, right?
Well, he doesn't admit to being 29, let alone 65.
Happy 40, 50, 60, 70, 80th smoking.
So Sarah at Bethel Bakery, I went in there today. You have to order it, but I'm stubborn. I don't want to go online or call them a week ahead of time. So I went in today after I did my by request show with Jessica Lee, and I go, do you have any white batter cakes? VIP, can you put that on the floor beside you? Thank you. So A2, I'm testing all your skills because you got to handle that camera, make adjustments. Let's see what he did. So shout out to Sarah.
Don't drop that cake.
No.
I'm shaking a little.
Oh, no.
I'm a little nervous.
Yeah.
It's very light yellow. They didn't really listen to me. I said it should be like my card, yellow like that.
Does anybody
No, they
listen
do. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They have.
Sounds like the volunteers.
No, it didn't. It didn't happen. All right, so we don't put candles and fire in the studio. We tried it one time and it didn't work out well. So I'm going to cut the cake for Smoking Jim. He likes the white batter. So I'll get him a nice...
I'm honored beyond my accomplishments. Thank you.
Have you accomplished anything?
I've been practicing.
Yeah, well, let's think about all the people he's kept out of local Hall of Fames.
Yeah.
Whoa. Here, I don't have any forks, and I didn't see any in the cabinet.
There's a biggie there.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Chip's getting it. Hey, this is live TV.
White on white.
You got to put up with this.
Is all right.
And disclaimer, these are Smoking Jim's opinions, not the studio or my opinion. And that is tasty icing. Whoa.
We use Jim's straw like chopsticks.
All right, VIP. And any of you other volunteers, Corey, Ryan, A1 and A2, you're more than welcome to come in and I'll slice them up, or we can wait for later. I'm going for some flowers. I don't mess around. I don't eat this too much. They rarely see me cheat. Guess what? I'm cheating.
Wow.
What do they say? If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
You ain't eating. If you ain't, no. If you ain't cheating, you ain't eating. Thank you, Bethel Bakery. This was money well spent on my BFF.
Thanks, Machine. I appreciate that.
Even though I don't know much about him. He told me I know more than any one of his friends and family knows.
That's true. That's true.
So I'm a shocked man. I won't even mention that he's an honest man. And we all know what that means. Matter of fact, before the show, I asked Ryan, because he's only 21, been here almost a year with A2. And I said to Ryan, because we have some good conversations. I say, how are you doing? He says, good. I go, what's going on? He looks at me.
Man of 1,000 words.
So I asked him, since we like talking about Smoking Jim when he's not here, I said, if one of your friends said to you, I'm an honest man, what would you do? He goes, I'd trust him until I caught him lying. And I had to add the caught him lying.
You know what I would do?
No.
I'd reach around and check my wallet.
Whoa! Since nobody else came up for cake, we'll save it for after the show, because after that, Smoking Jim's taking his white batter, white icing, to his white neighborhood.
So can I ask a silly question?
I'm hoping you would.
Well, because you know when it's a child's first birthday, they get him a smash cake.
He would need it. Let me take another bite. Pass a couple napkins on, Chip. I need a couple here. Smoking Jim, you can't take all these napkins home.
Well, why not? They're white.
Well, to me, it's unusual. Like Smoking Jim always has napkins, and he's wiping his fingers and hands. Then he takes them home. I have not ever, in almost 11 years, asked why.
He's recycling them.
No, he's using them for some mysterious reason. I just can't get into it right now. This is shocking. Well, you know what? We better get down to business. Wow, we're 8 minutes into the show. I'm remiss here. Wait, I got to bite something here. What the heck? All right, I can talk now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We're ready. All right, A2. Wow, I look good in that camera. That blue
Yes, you do.
Miami shirt looks great on me. I end each show to honor Joey Fabus, died at 8 years old. His family, this is 7 years ago he died, right before his 9th birthday. They started the Joey Fabus Childhood Cancer Foundation. There's Joey, upper one without DIPG, after he had DIPG and he died less than a year. His family started Joey Fabus Childhood Cancer Foundation, raised over $100,000 to find a cure. Their 5K 1 mile run that I've been talking about all year. Guess what? I got the date. September 18th. Bethel Park High School. 9 in the morning. Guess what? Somebody from here will be filming, or I'll have a camera myself and film it. That's all. We've been doing it for each year, and we're going to do it again. That's our biggest fundraiser. It's a superhero dress-up, run and walk 5K miles or 1 mile. So they raise the most money for their Joey Fabus Childhood Cancer Foundation. That piece of cake got stuck.
Yikes.
Oh, yeah. All right, next up. A2 to the rescue. More icing. Olive Oil's Pizzeria, Hillcrest Shopping Center. They have great Italian food, great salads, great desserts, you name it, pasta, they got it, wings, are known for good wings. They don't have any good thighs. Smoking Jim was talking about that tonight. How's chicken thighs funny?
Well, no, I was thinking, they could have more than one meeting, couldn't it, smoking? Yeah,
Hey, in my mind, I'm talking chicken thighs.
understood.
Just got to clarify these things. This is a family-friendly show. Call them up, 412-831-1900. Thanks to Frank Fanera for owning the place and sponsoring our show with an XL pepperoni pizza. Tonight, they ran out of steak hoagies. If you're calling in, no steak hoagies. We had a great Italian hoagie. I don't normally eat this food or this cake, and it was just great. So we somehow handled it, 6 slices, and it went like wildfire. So check out Olive Oil's Pizzeria. Next up, 501c3. It's called Always Be Smiling. The B stands for Bennett, who was a handicapped child, lived to be 16 and a half, and he passed away due to many complications in his handicaps. But he was always smiling, cheerful, and positive, even though he had 2 kidney transplants. His dad, Dean, gave him the last one, and he just couldn't make it anymore, but he had the best 16 and a half years you could have. The family, to honor him and how positive and happy he was, they started a 501c3. You learned last year where Smoking Jim didn't know. I'm not picking on him, just saying. You can check the film. Or as they say in football, the film. So you can check those films. And it was truly said there. And they just had an event I saw just the other day. I get notifications on Facebook, and it said Always Be Smiling was going live. So I liked their live event, and they were going to raise money and help others, like children that need kidney transplants and their families. So thanks to all the people that have liked the page. I appreciate you following what I said to like their page, and they're up over 1,200 likes, so way to go. Next up, A2 to the rescue again. Let's see what he does. Wow, that camera made me look even brighter there. Look at that. 2,600. There was a commercial years ago. I don't know if any of you remember it, but it was called The Clapper. And when I worked at the newspaper, guys would start clapping and somebody'd shut out the lights in our production department. And I think every time I see somebody clap like Smoking Jim being funny, I look for the lights to go out. So the lights didn't go out. Bethel Park Historical Society, Schoolhouse Arts and History Center, 2600 South Park Road with the white and red trolley. Yes, trolley. For all of you that haven't ridden on them, one of the greatest rides I've had is from Dormont, shaking all the way to downtown Pittsburgh. It was a great trip, and a great trip back. And they've remodeled a 1905 schoolhouse, has a library, has the yearbooks of each year from Bethel Park. They have a room named after the Community Foundation, which I'm a trustee. It's an auditorium. They have events there. They have reunions there. They've had weddings. So check them out right at 2600 South Park Road. You all right there, VIP?
Yeah, everything's fine.
You know we have hoagie for you.
Yeah.
Okay, just
No,
checking.
I was just looking at Smoking Jim. He's too beautiful for television, man. I can't.
Oh, not really. I beg to differ with you. He just got a year older. You know that.
Well, allegedly, you know. He could be aging down for all we know.
Well, I think that was in a movie or something. No. He's not in a movie. This is life. All right. Great job. Whoa, I thought A2. Well, I got to just take, whoop. Whoop. Oh, my goodness.
Wait.
That icing is delicious. I want you for BPTV. Uncle Al, the talking machine, wants you at BPTV. You can be like Happy Nick, not a truth sayer anymore since he hung with Smoking Jim. A1,
Nice.
A2, Ryan, and we got Corey, who said for a half an
That's
hour
my man.
he was looking for a good wire or to replace a wire. I didn't see it, so I questioned him on it, and he didn't prove it to me yet. So we will challenge that.
There are 5 eyewitnesses. It's all good. He was
I want to know
there.
who saw him on the floor there. Did you see him?
Raise your hand if you saw him on the floor. Okay. But you did.
Disclaimer on Smoking Jim.
But he's an honest man.
I give it back for Corey. I like Corey. That's my boy. That's my boy.
The
That's my
disclaimer
road
on
dog.
Smoking Jim is he got in here at 2 minutes to 7. Corey was there till 6:30 because he kept saying, I was on the floor till 6:30. So thanks, Corey. We made you famous. So if you're in high school, if you're out of high school and you're interested in video, audio, you can come here and join in on the fun. And just don't go to Smoking Jim to verify anything.
Not your source for information.
No. And look at my smiling face on Uncle Sam. We won't talk about Smoking Jim anymore now. It's his birthday, but I salute him. All right. Next up, let's see what A2 can do again. Oh, by the way, hold that on me. Look at this haircut.
Looks good.
Marianne had to take a leave of absence. Her dad and mom are very sick, so she has to handle that. Prayers to Marianne Workman. Cut my hair for 22 years. Emilio come up to me and said, Marianne told me to help you out and cut your hair, so for as long as you come here, and I know you're not going to quit coming here, I'm going to cut your hair. Emilio is a good friend of mine. He owns Zazu, and just a great guy, great business. And he wants to be on the Talking Machine show.
That's what's up.
So
That's what's up.
we'll see. Just a little shameless promotion for that. Yeah, so we'll talk about other things. Here we go. A2 had that up perfect. Look at this. Wow, that haircut's looking slick. Did I say that out loud?
You did?
Okay. Bethel Park Community Foundation has money for you. They have grant money from $100 to $5,000. They've given out over $1 million in 26 years. We give away money each year. Get your app at bpcf.org. You know how those W's go in front, so I don't have to tell you. You're all savvy with that. So you know where to go. Great place, great foundation. They do a lot of great things in our community for a lot of groups, helping make Bethel Park a better community. All right. Social worker friend of mine told me about a lady that had chronic kidney disease like me. I ended up talking to her and friending Kathleen Miller, and look at the great picture of her on that. She sent me the flyer, and we posted this up for a while, and she got a donor. When her kidney function gets to around 15, where mine was, she'll have a living donor like I have with my son Drew. If he's watching the show, he's been watching the last month. So he's critiquing us because he knows sports. And he even goes to me, what's up with Smoking Jim? And I go, what do you mean, Drew? And he doesn't explain it. So he just wants to know.
That's my boy.
And he's shouting out back to you for sure. And she gave me the flyer, and we'll find out her donor when she gets her transplant. So can't wait for that. And good luck, Kathleen. Hope you're doing well right now and hanging in there. All right. Next step, I'm eyeing that cake up. Look at Chip crushed it, and he hates white cake. He hates it. He hates that. So I got to ask Smoking Jim Frazier, besides what's his age, hey, how old are you? Smoking, he can't answer the question.
Hitting the bongo.
11 years. Is he an honest man still?
Well, he's not being dishonest. He's just not answering.
Okay, what's on your mind?
Thanks to Al Levine, the talking machine. And if you want the green, you got to see
Whoa.
Levine.
Almost looked like Deontay Johnson dropping that one.
And I tell you what, Al Levine, the talking
What?
machine. Shout out to a friend of the show, Luther Dupree, and his beautiful wife had their 20-year anniversary.
Congratulations,
Al Levine,
Luther.
And I almost went. Al Levine, the talking machine. I tell you I did see a video, and they got a singing group called the Dupree Five. Ain't none of them got no talent but my goddaughter. She carried the whole group, so I taught her well. But Alabama Talking Machine.
Yes.
We got 1,295 mutual friends. So I'm gonna have to steal another 5 off you to get it up to 1,300 for you. But finally, the last thing's on my mind. Congratulations to my main man, Baker Mayfield. Keep the chip on your shoulder. Keep playing well, and good things is going to happen. And that's what's on my mind. The Dupree Five.
No. I got to go. Luther Dupree put
The
up.
least talented black family ever seen in my life. They had the afro wigs like the Jackson 5. One for my goddaughter. They got booed off the stage at their own anniversary celebration.
Here's what's so great about Smoking Jim. Luther Dupree put out I don't know what camera I look at. Okay, A1's pointing. He doesn't talk or show anything. Now he's pointing. All right, thanks, A1.
Luther was Tito.
He put out a great complimentary thing like the Royal Sports people in Pittsburgh. A couple of his guys are there. Claudio's there. Ralph's there. And there's no Smoking Jim. So I thought of Devin Shea and his great wife, Danny, where they kept asking me, his best friend, is Smoking Jim coming? And I kept saying no.
Did he make it to Bill Boyce's?
Yes. No, he missed that too.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
He said he was trying to go to Chips. Well, I thank you, Smoking Jim. Enjoy your birthday cake. You got the whole thing because the young guys didn't come in.
Yes.
A2's watching his weight. And he's not going to eat any
He
cake.
don't want to get that icing on his Corvette. That's what it is.
Well, he did get it washed. You saw how it was shining out there.
This Corvette's white, so is the icing.
Hold it. Let me
Not
explain.
gonna s-
Are we still on air?
Yeah.
Making sense doesn't matter to Smoking Jim.
Never has.
Okay? If it makes sense, he don't care. Chip Hayner, what's on your mind?
Thank you, Alan.
Glad we got to you.
First thing that's on my mind is the Steelers have decided to change the name of their stadium. And once again, Art II is driving the bus right off the cliff. You know, and I was listening to some statistics on the radio not very long ago, and they were talking about the top NFL teams in gate attendance.
Yeah.
That means people that actually show up for the games. And you wonder why gate attendance at Heinz Field has dropped to within the lowest 5 of the NFL at 88% capacity.
Yeah.
You know, so this move that he made yesterday, make sure that number continues to drop. And that's all I've got to say about that. The fact that you couldn't find a Pittsburgh-based organization to name your stadium after, it's pretty sad. Nice money grab, Art. Don't spend it all in one place.
Oh, I got to say, $150 million.
Hey, like I said,
And guess what? You can put up all your petitions to stop it.
Yeah.
You swallow this icing. You can't change it.
and you're not going to change it. It is what it's going to be. Also, like to a little shout out to a local Pittsburgh, actually to 2 local Pittsburgh products.
right.
One of them paying for the Pittsburgh Pirates, David Bednar, selected to this year's All-Star team.
Yeah, way to
As a
go.
closer, congratulations to the Mars product. And also, somebody that he played, in youth league baseball with, Ian Happ, who was from Mount Lebanon.
Yeah.
For the Chicago Cubs, also
What a
made the
small
All-Star
world,
team.
yeah.
So they played ball together as the children, and now they're going to share a spot on the All-Star team in Los Angeles. Now that leads me to another thing. All-Star games Los Angeles next week. Maybe not. It seems that 99% of the concession workers have voted to go on strike. And somehow
Power to the people.
Somehow, they're going to have to resolve this before the game. Otherwise, it's going to be quite the cluster. But anyhow, somehow, I guess money will talk there.
Chip, with
Once
my
again-
union experience, I wondered why I got a phone call about that.
Yeah.
They needed some advice.
99% of the people in the union voted to strike.
Yeah.
So they must be pretty serious about what they want to. And then also, I just want to make mention of probably one of the most useless events that has anything to do with Major League Baseball, and that would be the Home Run Derby coming up Monday night.
How dare you?
No, how dare I? How dare I? You know, if you want to watch, like, you know, it reminds me of watching a Sunday softball beer league. You have somebody's father sitting out there lobbing them pitches so that they could hit the ball out of the stadium.
He doesn't like home runs in the
is-
game. He doesn't like an event based on home runs.
There
Let's
isn't
bunt.
a single thing about that home run derby that shows off anybody's skill or talent. I don't understand it. But they're going to make a televised event out of it, and unfortunately, with televised events, the NFL's got that market cornered. So I can assure you, I won't be watching. You want to know what's on my mind? That's what's on my mind so far.
Chip, you did well. I appreciate that. Vic Callis, what's on your mind?
All right. Well, we're gonna go ahead and strap in because I have some stuff to mention today. So
Whoa.
I'll even involve Chip, especially since he's talking about the home run derby with such shame and disrespect. Chip, what do you think of Steve Blass?
When I think of Steve Blass, I think of Game 7 in the 1971 World Series.
You respect the man?
Absolutely.
Nice guy, nice player, quality player.
Never met him personally. I wouldn't know.
All right, you wouldn't know. All right. So, yeah, Steve Blass, even Smoking Jim knows who Steve Blass was. World Series champion.
No, he's still alive.
Yeah, he's still a World Series. Well,
Yeah.
I say was because it's not the current year. You know, they were, and then somebody else kept winning the championships past 71. But that's why I say was. They're not the current champions. They won in 71.
I beg to differ with you.
Okay.
When we have #1 president,
Okay, he is a World Series champion. I get it.
Thank you.
I understand.
I just
Okay.
had to bring that up.
So,
Trying to back you up.
I was
Chip.
kind of thinking, because, you know, evolution's still on my mind in progressing baseball. And, of course, that's no surprise to anybody who watches this show or who sits at this desk. But some magic words came out of the mouth of Steve Blass on Father's Day when I was working a Pirate game. And this audio clip is courtesy of 93.7 The Fan and the Pirates Radio Network. So just go ahead and listen to Steve Blass saying some words in a broadcast booth. He was on as a guest on Father's Day.
You brought your kid to the ballpark today, and everybody digs the home run. You know, we talk about fundamentals and moving people around and everything, and that's good, and that's the way the game should be played, but ain't nothing like a dinger.
They're not getting up and cheering for a grounder they threw the hole the other way.
Or Bogle back to bunt the ball down the third baseline.
That's we came here to see you, big boy, butt the ball.
Steve Blass, yeah. So he played in 1971, and he's talking with Greg Brown and John Wayner on 93.7 The Fan of the Pirates Radio Network about home runs. We're not paying to watch bunts when Daniel Vogelbach's this monster who's hitting home runs. And it's ironic that he mentioned the home run derby because, I mean, I couldn't walk out there in the shape I am right now and hit a ball 412 feet, even if it was batting practice. So, like, let's calm down about the home run derby and let's appreciate home runs. But there's one more person, and even if Steve Blass doesn't convince Chip, there is somebody else who is wiser in this world that would argue otherwise about evolution in baseball. Go ahead, Ryan, play the clip.
Life is evolution, and sports have evolved.
They're beautiful words. Life is evolution. Life is evolution.
Wow.
Sports have evolved.
I was wondering, that was a handsome-looking fellow up there, wasn't it?
Unbelievable.
Hold it, time out.
Jeez.
How did you find the first thing with Steve Blass? Because this is a Pittsburgh Sportsline first.
Well, I work at the Fan.
Two
so
segments.
there
All
you go.
right.
And then I was looking through some old clips because I was interested in seeing the history of Sportsline. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, those lines are drawn. Out of nowhere, those words come out of his mouth. So take that for
Hold it.
what
What
it's
year
worth.
was that?
2017.
2017, that was
About 5
years
years ago. So, like, not too old.
Wow.
So
Who knows
there you
what
go.
I was talking about?
Oh, you're talking about the NFL and Major League Baseball's like still had some not as much as the NFL, but baseball still had evolution in it and has been changing, even though, you know, we've had them documented on the show saying baseball hasn't changed in 150 years. So, like, no, I mean, again,
I want to see that clip.
Go ahead, Ryan, play it.
Oh, I didn't know that. I'm a
Ryan.
straight guy.
Go ahead, Ryan.
For 135 years later, they're still playing the same game. They are still playing the same game by the same rules, and it has survived for 100 and almost 50 years.
There are reports that the universal DH is coming within the next 2 seasons.
It's interesting, as much of a baseball nut as I am, that's news to me.
You haven't seen the reports?
Don't believe everything you read on the internet.
You're
Not an
comparing
error.
errors.
No, I'm not.
This
I'm
is an
comparing
era right
the
now
game
where
of
power is
baseball.
prominent.
It's a game of baseball.
No.
It hasn't changed.
But it has. It definitely has.
It's not.
Wait, Chip.
So listen. Now
that's-
listen. Steve Blass, Chip said it himself. You saw me being angry a couple times there. So like, hey, let's acknowledge evolution. And I'm going to talk about evolution later because something big's happening in baseball. So let's to be continued.
Can we have a rebuttal?
Yeah, go ahead.
No need.
Okay. I just wanted to have the air cleared.
The air is clear as far as I'm concerned. I stand behind anything I've ever said.
But you said 2 different things. Baseball hasn't changed, but life is evolution. I love the life is evolution. That was beautiful. I could not have put better
Let me
words down
interrupt you
myself.
on the week of Smoking Jim's birthday. Could you pull up 17 clips of what he said on our show? Any of them?
He says so many things.
No, just 17 of anything that he says.
Yeah, next week we'll go ahead.
Okay, 17.
Yeah, I'll go ahead.
17.
You also, I was looking at history, and you said that the Jags would beat the Steelers in 2018, and they did. And none of these guys thought you would, so I'll give you that. But you also said some
but
nonsense.
Nick, let me tell you
You've
something.
also said some nonsense.
Anybody that's played the Steelers, he said was going to beat them. So occasionally he's going to be right.
Sure.
There's
No,
even a broken watch is right twice a day.
Sure, fair enough. All right, I'm good. I'm good.
You good? All right, no more clips.
No more clips.
A1, no more mics you got to have out there. You know he wouldn't
Right
tell
or
me
wrong.
why he had the mic.
Oh, that's why, yeah.
He
Well,
kept it a
I
secret.
wanted the audience to hear.
He said, see Chip.
Yeah. No. No, I got. Yeah, that's
Thank
what
you.
I'm for. Yeah, we're good.
All right, my phone's finally showing me who's watching. Ralph Williams, I thought you had your show.
That's my
Thanks for
man.
watching us. He said, good evening. Pete Kasich said, can the volume to my cell phone be increased 25%? I'm not sure of the reference there.
No, we can't increase the audio.
We can't do it, Pete, but good luck. Amy from Giant Eagle, your haircut looks nice. Thank you. She knows we're sports guys, so she gives us an update. Pirates are up 1-0 on Miami. Thanks, Amy. Pete again. Half of us did not see him. The other half will not admit seeing him at Bill's. He answered your question. Ralph said it shows 8 p.m. Good luck on your show. Must have been last week you had some technical difficulties that you had to do at the same time we did because we didn't see you. Thanks for watching and being a fan, Ralph, and good luck with your stuff. All right. What's on my mind? Yankees were in town. So my son Drew goes, hey, Dad, I know Chip's going to the game Tuesday night. You told me. How about if we go Wednesday night? So he told me that was on Monday. He goes, what do you think about $13 tickets in Section 321? Wow. That's right up straight from home plate, basically.
Well, 316 is right behind home plate, so you're just up the third base line a little bit.
Yeah, and the view from up there was amazing.
I love it.
And
That's where my season tickets are, 314.
Yeah, so $13 tickets, Chip, no comment. I know you're a season ticket holder, but we were happy. Then we go there, we're leaving Bethel Park, and we're like Monroeville. It never rains in Bethel Park. So we're getting near Pittsburgh, and it's getting as dark as could be. It looked like night, and it's not. I always like to be early. Smoking Jim will tell you, I come an hour early. He's 30 seconds.
No, he shows up in the third inning
Well, that's baseball.
and leaves in sixth.
Yeah.
He leaves in the
I was
sixth.
with him that day because we were at a Jessica Lee show first. We actually were on stage, Smoking Jim and I. But that's another point. So it's clouding up, and we go, wow, we'll see if it rains. So it looks like rain, get a couple drops. Traffic was out of control. So I go, we'll try one of the parking lots that was filled up right near PNC, and other ones filled up. So I go, Drew, it's starting to rain, and they had a rain delay. They said they couldn't get the tarp off till maybe a half hour after starter. So I go, let's go to the Rivers Casino and see Smokin' Jim. This is true. This is our conversation. Drew goes, do you think he'll be there? I said, Drew, last year I was supposed to meet Tony Garino at the sports book. And guess what? No Tony showed up, but I'm standing in the sports book, and somebody goes to me, hey, Machine, who do you got to bet on? I go, I'm waiting for a guy that wants to do a show with us here. He goes, no, tell me, who are you betting on? True story. I go, no one. So we go to the sports book, we sit down, and we're listening to the Pirate game, and they said, it might be 45 minutes. So I go, let's go to the Wheelhouse. You can treat, because I bought the tickets. He treats. We had a great meal. Here, the game started 69 minutes late. We got into our seats up there right before the first pitch.
Wow.
So we were all excited.
Who won?
I don't remember yet.
I do.
So I'm sitting next to two Yankee fans.
Two grand slams.
Yeah. Then we're watching the game, and I said, yeah, we're here for the Buccos. That was a great game last night. And it's close till third or fourth inning, and then all kind of walks happen, couple hits. And then Aaron Judge comes up with the bases loaded. And I said, I like Aaron Judge. And one guy, Corey, and one guy, Nathan. I'm both friends with the Yankee fans. No, Corey there. Yeah, I know more than one Corey. Unlike you. They don't all look the same. So
None of my friends can have the same name.
Nathan goes before Judge got up. He goes, I bet on the Yanks winning by 2.5. They were up by 3. So he was good. Corey bet more money, unlike Smokin' Jim, and he needed 4.5 points.
Both covered.
Yeah, so Aaron Judge had these two guys jumping out of their seats. He jacked the ball right out of the ballpark, left field. Unbelievable.
He hit one of the longest home runs I ever saw in PNC Park 5 years ago when they were here.
Yeah.
When they were here last. It was, it hit the top of the batter's eye in center field.
Impressive home run, wasn't it? No, okay, yeah.
And your point?
Yeah, home runs are impressive. That's good.
Who are you talking to?
Both of you.
Because it sounds like you're talking to Chip. I'm right here. I'm right here. So anyhow, the game was getting out of hand. And unlike Smokin' Jim, I know I keep mentioning his name. It's in honor of his birthday and not knowing how old or young he is. He might be 25 years old, even though I've known him for 11 years. I know his son, the Hammer. I knew him, and now he's over 18. So years do pass for everybody except Smokin' Jim. So we stayed till the 9th inning, the final out, and it was 16-0. But we had a lot of fun. The Yankee guys become my friends. I was busting their chops. They were busting mine. And they were in their 20s. I said, I work with all these 21-year-olds, 22-year-olds, 23-year-olds, and thanks for listening to me. They go, no, you were making some sense here. So it ended up my first experience at the Pirates since COVID, and we had a good time. We were full from eating at the Wheelhouse. Smokin' Jim, I said we stayed for the whole 16-0 loss.
The 8 runs they scored in the 9th inning.
Yeah.
Aaron Hicks hit a grand slam.
We watched
Stanton.
everything.
Josh Van Meter was throwing his 56-mile-an-hour fastballs.
Well, yeah, they just threw it in. They said it was over. But then Drew goes to me. He goes, we didn't see Smokin' Jim, so I guess he didn't bet his $250 on the Yankees. I said, Drew, you're right.
That's a shame.
We'll be back in 10 seconds with Fiction and Fact from Smokin' Jim's Almanac. Had to share that story.
Thanks, Al Levine, the talking machine. And I tell you what, buddy.
What?
We're going to go back a little bit.
What year?
Chip, when was the last time the Pirates hosted an All-Star game?
2007.
2007. That's when I got a chance to be at High Tops, escort A-Rod on the red carpet from High Tops to the limo.
What
to
were the
PNC
girls'
Park.
names with you?
But I tell you what, Al Levine, the talking
A-Fraud.
machine.
You mean A-Fraud.
A-Fraud. But the thing that
Hey,
got
Roy.
me, he had
Hey,
he had
Roy,
a-
in my book.
he had a light white tweed like blazer on, right?
Shock.
And the thing that got me with A-Rod was how tall he was. That's the first thing that hit me. I'm like, God, this guy's tall. So now my new hero and my second favorite Pirate is 6'7" O'Neal Cruz with a 96-mile-an-hour fast,
Throw to the-
throws. And I tell you what, this is a young guy that seemed like he got a lot of potential. And I can't wait to one day escort him from one of the bars to PNC Park when he makes the All-Star team. But who can guess, lastly, who can guess other than Nick, he knows, who's my favorite Pirate?
Oh, you know that. Barry Bonds.
No, currently.
I have no
Cruz
idea.
is my second favorite. You just went to a Pirate game and you don't know my favorite
No.
He
Pirate?
did say it last week.
No,
Vogelbach.
I don't listen to him.
Big boy power, baby.
I
Love
love
that.
him, man. And I tell you what, he's living proof that anybody can play first base.
Yeah, but why is he not? Why do they have Yoshi Suzuka playing first base and not him?
They got a guy by that name.
Again,
on the Pirates.
disclaimer, folks. Smoking Jim only learned about baseball when he got on Pittsburgh Sportsline, October 11th, 2011. So anything he makes a comment on, I need 17 official verifications of that. So that's why I need 17 statements.
We'll get some.
Most of them will be false.
We'll get some from the archive.
Well, thank you, Smoking Jim.
Thank you.
We're going to trivia time in 10 seconds.
Oh, welcome back, everybody. And one thing I do want to make a note of, I do appreciate Nick's attempt at making me look foolish. I don't need his help. I could do that all by myself.
No disclaimer.
Okay, so today, what's the date, Jim?
July 12th.
2022.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to take us back a few years to a couple of previous July 12ths
Whoa.
that have some significance in the game of baseball. I'm going to go back 25 years.
Wow.
25 years. July 12th, 1997. I was for the company I was working for at that time, they considered me the entertainment director. And I had some young men that came to work for me that week that were from Des Moines, Iowa. And as we got to the end of the work week, they said, one of the things we really want to do before we go back to Des Moines, we want to get on and see a Pirate game. So I'm like, okay,
Nice.
no problem. We went down, we got tickets, and we went to go watch the Pirates play the Astros. July 12th, 1997. It was the first no-hitter that I was a witness to.
Wow.
In my life, Francisco Cordoba pitched 9 innings of no-hit ball.
I
Game was
remember
tied
that.
0-0.
Yeah, I remember.
So in comes in the top of the 10th, Ricardo Rincon, who pitches a no-hit 10th inning. And for the first time in Major League history, there was a walk-off to end the no-hitter. Mark Smith, whom nobody heard of before or after.
Till now.
Okay, hit a 3-run homer in the bottom of the 10th inning, and the Pirates walked out of the game with a no-hitter under their belt and a victory. That was the first of 2 no-hitters that I witnessed, July 12th, 1997.
Nice.
Next one I want to talk about is going to go back a few more years. I'm going to take me back 43 years. 43 years on July 12th, 1979.
I remember.
Now, I want to lay the groundwork for this. the decade of the 70s was the decade of disco. And and there was a faction of people that loved disco music, and there was a faction of people that loved rock and roll music, and they did not play together well. Let's just
not
say
at all.
that. So if anybody has ever
Especially
heard
with
in the
the
history
disco
of
ball
baseball,
playing. Yeah.
they've heard of a guy named Bill Veeck. You know who Bill
Yeah.
Veeck was? Bill Veeck is the guy that brought in Eddie Goodell, who was 4 foot 6 inches
The
tall.
shortest guy.
The shortest player to ever play the game. Well,
Smoking Jim just learned that.
well, Bill Veeck decided to have something happen in the midst of a doubleheader, which was something that used to happen on a
lot.
regular basis
Yeah.
in baseball. It was called Disco Demolition Night. It was on a Thursday, July 12th, 1979, at Comiskey Park in Chicago.
Wow.
It ended in a riot. At the climax of the event, a crate filled with disco records was blown up on the field between the games of Twilight doubleheader between the White Sox and the Tigers.
Wow.
Many of those in attendance had come to see the explosion rather than the games and rushed onto the field after the detonation. The playing field was so damaged by the explosion and by the fans that the White Sox were required to forfeit the second game.
Wow.
And just to give you an idea of of people of a historic nature
Yeah.
that had something to do with that game, the attendance of that game was 47,495.
Nice.
The announcers, TV announcers, were George Kell, Al Kaline, Hall of Famer.
yeah, my hero.
On
one
the
of my
television
heroes.
side, Harry Carey and Jimmy Pearsall.
Wow. What a crew.
Wait a minute, it gets even better. Radio announcers were none less than the legendary Ernie Harwell
Wow.
and Paul Carey. So in the late 70s, disco was the most popular music genre. An opposition prominent enough the White Sox seeking to fill seats at Comiskey Park during a lackluster season engaged Chicago's shock jock and anti-disco campaigner Steve Dahl for the promotion on July 12th.
Whoa.
Dahl's sponsoring radio station admission was discounted to 98 cents for attendings who turned in a disco record between games. Dahl was to destroy the collection of vinyl with an explosion.
Wow.
White Sox officials had hoped for a count of 20,000, about 5,000 more than usual. Instead, at least 50,000 people, including tens of thousands of Dahl's adherents, packed the stadium, and thousands more continued to sneak in after the gates were closed. Many of the records were not collected by staff and were thrown like flying discs from the stands. After Dahl blew up the collected records, thousands of fans stored the field, remained there until dispersed by the police.
I
So
remember
there you
that.
go.
Yeah.
One relevant piece of baseball history and one irrelevant piece of baseball history, all on July 12th. So enjoy the day.
When did rap start?
Year after.
Year after?
Yeah. You can make up stuff. I can do the same thing. How'd I do? And thanks for teaching Smoking Jim about Bill Veeck. We appreciate it. All right, it's VIP time.
All right, so I was talking about evolution, and some news happened, and hopefully you find me
You
more...
still on evolution?
I am. Yeah, no,
You told us,
I
you
teased
teased
that,
us with
so
it.
I'm going to reintroduce
No,
it.
here's what's unusual. I don't want to talk about him, but you're a man of your word.
I am. Thank you for making that clear.
Oh, okay.
So-
Have a good day. Get out of here.
So, yeah, no, I mean, credible sources, again, I got credible sources when I tell things to you. I'm not like Smoking Jim, or I don't just randomly search the internet. Credible sources.
No, he doesn't even use that.
Right. No, well, I'm just saying.
You know that
this-
computer he bought
My credibility
for $2,500?
My credibility's been questioned before, so I just want to make it clear. Sources that are credible indicate this: that Major League Baseball is headed toward an electronic strike zone in the next couple of seasons.
Yes!
And now I've had a discussion about the electronic strike zone on the show before, and I took the side opposite of Smoking Jim because I was thinking about it, and I'm like, nah, you know what? If it's if they think it should happen, maybe they're wrong. I don't believe that it should be. But as everything in baseball is indicated in its history, when you look at the history of baseball, you start to change your opinion about things about it. And mine would be the electronic strike zone. So I'm going to backpedal a bit on what I said before with new information that I've received.
All right.
And I'm going to take a slight stance in favor of it. So
you're doing a flip-flop here,
but here's
officially.
why. Here's why. Yeah, I'm doing a flip-flop, but with new information. I'm changing my opinion based off of information. I looked at the history of baseball, and I found out that the strike zone hasn't always been the same in Major League Baseball. Would you believe that? The most recent change in Major League Baseball happened in 1996. They moved the strike zone from the top of the knees to the bottom of the knees, so there was a little more range down in the lower part of the zone. And the strike zone used to be at the batter's shoulders, which is crazy to think about now because you cannot reach up for high 90s fastballs up there and expect to hit anything. So they moved it to the midpoint between the waist and the shoulders. But as early as the 80s, and I found this out and I was shocked, batters would call for the pitcher to throw a pitch either high or low. And if the pitcher could not throw the ball in a high zone or a low zone based on the batter's body, so like the low zone would be from the waist to the knees, and the upper part of the zone would be from the waist to the shoulders. If the pitcher wouldn't throw it in that high or low zone, it was a ball. So there was no whole body strike zone. It was the batter literally had to tell the pitcher where to throw a pitch. So I'm looking at all these changes in the strike zone, and I'm looking at how many players are frustrated by umpires missing calls. And I'm like, you know what? If the majority of fans, if the majority of players would like to see this, I'm not totally opposed to it because they're getting the logistical part of the strike zone correct. And the strike zone hasn't always been the same. Like many things in baseball that I've found out as I've researched the history of the sport, it hasn't been the same. Strike zone's no different. So if they have to get it right, though. That's my other opinion on it, too. They can't screw this up. If they're going to implement it, it's got to be as perfect and as flawless as it can be.
I got a
I'm not saying
bone
they
of
will.
contention on that
So
point
then-
alone. Let me, at the baseball championship, the back-to-back, shout out to the Blackhawks boys baseball team, 2 back-to-backs. Appreciate it. Talked to a gentleman that's a referee and umpire and everything else at State College. And somebody was talking also, and he said, what about the electronic zone? He goes, first of all, it's only one size. That's one point. Second, and you heard me say this, Chip, he said if a ball bounced in front of the plate and hit the strike zone, it's a strike. That's what he said. He's
I'm an umpire, too, and that's just not true.
that's what he said. That's what he said. If it crossed the strike zone, it would be a strike. Where does it say it isn't in the rules?
No, a ball for it to be a strike has to cross the plate, for a pitch to be a pitch, it has to cross the foul line on the fly. And if it doesn't, if a ball rolled up to home plate but didn't make it, that's a balk.
It's a balk.
Yeah. So the
Okay.
ball
I
has to
didn't know
cross
that.
a part of the foul line for it to be considered a pitch.
I knew it.
No, yeah, okay.
You don't have a clue.
We'll skip that nonsense.
Yeah.
But if we're going to go to electronic umps, why do we even have players? Why do we even have pitchers? Why don't we just play a video game and just leave it at that?
They do each week here.
Because we need to get it right.
Well,
listen,
I'm
the
glad
official-
you
hold on.
said that because here's what. They haven't gotten it right with replay.
Sure they have.
No, they have
They've
not.
gotten more right than they've gotten wrong.
Okay? They haven't gotten it right with replay.
They've corrected calls.
The
in
game's
play.
played by
Not
human
all.
beings.
But many
Not-
more that wouldn't have been.
Some
Players
of what
make
wouldn't have
errors.
been.
Umpires make mistakes.
But umpires can't
It's why? Because
Now
wait,
listen,
an
I'm an
umpire
umpire.
can't make a
Chip,
mistake.
Chip, I'm an umpire, and I'm an umpire. You understand? I'm a PIAA umpire.
And you're
I
not
am
allowed to
certi-
make a mistake, right?
I would rather, but I've also been a player, and that's why I think I'm.
So have I. And you know what? Players make mistakes. Umpires make mistakes.
But they can't.
Been a part of the game for 150 years.
Now here's the thing, for the absolute fairest, most possibly defined correctness that you can have in a game, the umpire I said that weird. If the officials are perfect, if you have a mechanism for officiating to be perfect, then you let the imperfect players play on the most balanced playing field they can.
Why are you looking for perfection in an imperfect world? It doesn't
Officiating.
exist. It doesn't
Officiating.
exist.
The players The
You're
players
not-
do
you're-
well.
you're not- you're not
Oh,
gonna-
I'm not
you're
trying
not
to
gonna sway
convince you.
my-
I'm trying to convince all the people out there who want to learn about the history of baseball and understand why maybe they should change their perspective a little bit. Don't be like him in certain aspects because stubbornness isn't great with the sport. If the majority of players and there are fans out there who are crying for it because umpires are being exploited for their mistakes, well, why not have the best playing field possible and make sure we can have everything correct with the imperfect players that are playing? Robots will not play the game. That would be a little silly.
These are the same people that are sitting in front of their game consoles.
All right, we're running out of time. This discussion will be back again, I am sure, because I like bringing out opinions and facts and then disagreements. And we seem to have a few of those. Luckily, nobody considered Smoking Jim's comments, so thank you very much. Amy said, happy birthday, Smoking Jim.
thank you, Amy.
Welcome back, Chip, she said. Ralph said, thank you. You're welcome, Ralph. Brian Gladish said, hi, everyone. Be safe. Great show, guys. Amy gave an update. Pirates 1-1 against Miami.
Yep.
And she also said, Smoking Jim, enjoy your birthday.
Thank you so much.
Amy, he will. Look at the cake. All right, mine. We're not going to go to the 10-second on location. I'll just say on location, September 3rd, Monsville Prison. Jim Frio, Mike Murray invited Smoking Jim and I to do boxing. September 24th, they posted their stuff. Chris Ralph posted boxing prelim. They showed their stuff on Facebook when it is 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So I don't know if you can make it out with us
day
again.
was that again?
September
18?
24th.
24th.
Yeah,
I'll have
it's,
to check. That's way.
that's a 4 o'clock.
That might be possible if I can get a morning shift. We'll see.
Well, we're seeing it's out there for it. We're down to the last minute. Hope you enjoyed some of these discussions. Hope you enjoyed watching me cut cake and lick fingers and all the other stuff. Bethel Bakery is one of the best right down the street from here. Glad I went in today for my BFF Smoking Jim Frazier. No matter how old he is, where do you see a nicer guy with a nicer smile than Smoking Jim Frazier, who we don't know exactly where he's going with his comments or what he's doing or not doing at the sports book, that Drew and I were a witness for over an hour. No sighting of Smoking Jim Frazier. So we're trying to chase down, Nick. You're a man that likes facts.
Yes.
We're trying to see how factual he is on what he bets and when.
I'll find it out.
No, you don't have to,
Oh,
but
well,
we don't trust
whatever.
them.
Well.
We don't trust them anymore.
yeah, we don't.
Yeah. Thank you for
Learn that
agreeing.
the hard way.
And please stay Joey strong.